Mother, we have captured the Earthlings.
Bring them forward. Let me see their evil, degenerate faces.
This is all right, youngster. Don't push. We know.
Perceive the youthful, inherent ugliness of all their race. They're hideous!
Oh, steady on, sister. I mean, I know I'm no work of art, but Marina here's considered quite attractive back on Earth, you know.
Yes, I can imagine. I knew you would come.
Yes. Well, it's been a while since I've seen you. Thought I'd stop in and see how you all were. You've had this place redecorated, haven't you? Don't like it. Anyway, I thought one of you might like the chance of pressing the button on the old randomiser here.
Of what?
Of, the randomiser? We've only been doing it for like the last 100 weeks or so.
Ah, interesting. Very interesting.
Yes, but who's going to make the selection?
I will give the order.
No, I will.
Look at this. What is it?
It is mine.
Wait till I get my hands on you, you horror!
Zelda, are they always like this?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, condolences. Right, let's see what It Star has selected for us today. Well, appropriately enough, it's an episode from a show about some evil aliens living on Mars.
Oh, goody, goody, goody!
Yes, but it's not you guys. We're back with the original Captain Scarlet with...
Wonderful!
Yes, but, well, I'm sure someone out there might like this one, but I have to say it's never been one of my favourites. Here's Expo 2068.
Would anyone like something to eat?
No, thank you.
Leading the fight, one man fate has made indestructible. His name, Captain Scarlet.
So, we are back with... I think I have to say my favourite Super Mario Nation series. It's always a tie between this and Joe, but I think this just has the edge. Unfortunately, this is not one of my favourites. And I feel like I've been saying that a lot recently, unfortunately, but that's just how it goes.
3, and the circuit is closed. She's ready for shipment.
And it's completely safe?
You security people are all the same. Yes, it's safe.
How necessary is that thermic safety valve, sir?
It could be very necessary, Rainer.
That's why we've misspelt the word gauge on the panel, thermal gauge. Yeah, G-U-A-G-E is not how you spell the word gauge.
Temperature below the critical level, 200 degrees. A failure could result in a nuclear explosion.
An explosion?
Oh, yes.
Oh, mama. Oh,
Be
boy.
reopened as well.
But there's no chance of anything going wrong? No? Okay, so here's this company who have built a very volatile, very explosive... it's a reactor, isn't it? Yes, that's right. And here's a truck coming to pick it up. And anyway, this all sounds very dangerous, but of course is being treated with sort of casual indifference to the dangers. And we wouldn't really have it any other way in the Super Mario Nation world, would we? We wouldn't have people like taking adequate precautions. That's just foolish.
Ah, the transport has arrived.
Good job you were standing in the loading bay waiting for it. And of course this is the reappearance of the famous Captain Scarlet era truck that we saw in Big Ben Strikes Again.
Reactor mobile, sir.
Yep, they're loading their little nuclear reactor into the truck on a remote control hover. It looks like kind of like a miniature hovercraft thingy. And one strength this episode does have is the music that was composed especially for it. This is a really nice selection of incidental music for this episode.
It's a bad night, driver, and a precious cargo. I hope you drive carefully.
Yes, sir. I got my orders.
And this is where, I try not to mention my Captain Scarlet mashup videos too much, but of course I can't look at this truck driver in quite the same way as I could before I did my little 50th anniversary episode of the series, which somewhere, but yeah, this poor old truck driver thinks he's just going to have a nice quiet night, nice quiet drive to wherever it is he's going, but he doesn't reckon on the plans of this sinister man in black. And again, we're getting another random transmigration of objects scene. He's moved the diversion sign from one side of the road to the other side of the road. So instead of going where he's supposed to go, he's actually going to go where he probably shouldn't. Because I let you in on a little secret. The bridge is out. It's really nice and atmospheric as well, having this storm environment for so much of it.
43 should be coming to the bridge detour now.
And this control room set is quite intricate as well. We've got these
The new route. He can't miss
what
it.
look like real TVs mounted on the wall, like security camera footage of the room that we're in, and there was the Sam Loover puppet talking as well, and a shot of the exterior of the building, which of course is a model. And anyway, our truck driver friend has found there's a bridge out. And there he goes. And that's probably the only lorry crash or vehicle crash at all in Captain Scarlet where the vehicle doesn't explode. But our puppet driver is rather graphically covered in broken glass. Can't see any blood this time, but I'm sure they'll make up for that later. And that's it. The Mysterons have got the... Well, it's odd because presumably the Mysterons have hijacked the truck and the truck driver, but they haven't hijacked the reactor, I think. This is an episode where there's a lot of things that aren't clear as to...
Disaster will strike
well, everything, really.
the Seaboard of North America. We will deal a heavy blow to the prestige of the world. We will continue to take...
Yeah, we have a very vague threat. The Atlantic Seaboard. Heavy blow to the prestige of the world, but nothing specific. So it could be anything, really. Oh, again, love the music in this episode. It's fantastic.
The Atlantic Seaboard.
How many car parks within that area, Lieutenant?
Not good, sir. Heavy electrical storm since 12 midnight.
Launch Angels 1, 2, and 3, Lieutenant. Order them to proceed at speed ultimate to area reference points 7.
There it is again, speed ultimate.
SIG.
Maximum whooshiness.
Angel 1. Immediate launch. Angels 2
And nighttime launches for the Angels as well, which was footage that only appeared in a handful of episodes, really. I think this, Shadow of Fear, and Attack on Cloud Base might be all of them.
Captain Scarlet, report to control immediately.
Could be a couple more. Anyway, our truck driver friend is going very slowly.
Well, truck 43 passed through the first checkpoint safely, Doctor. A couple of minutes late.
And we're back in the room with the security cameras. That one of the cameras looks like it's displaying a shot of Craigsville from Thunderbirds Are Go. I'm sure it can't be, but that's really what it looks like.
Ground security reports a core reactor in transit to the new Manicougan power complex.
The latest Mysteron threat is focused in that area. Who's in charge of the project?
Western Seaboard? Atlantic Seaboard.
He's on the line.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
I know...
Dr. Summers, Colonel White, Spectrum here. We're checking off possible security risks. We understand you're shipping...
We're checking everything in the... I mean, I'm not sure. I probably should have checked before I started this how big, how wide an area the Atlantic Seaboard actually is, but...
We're sure it will be right on...
Spectrum have honed in on this truck as the possible Mysteron... part of the Mysteron plan very quickly.
We really didn't wish to attract attention to the shipment. That's why there's no conventional escort. We'll be discreet, Doctor.
We'll keep a Spectrum helicopter flying over it at a height of, 6 feet at all times.
Captain Scarlet, go to grid reference DP8 and pick up an SPV. Take Highway 83. It leads right into the Manicougan Dam site.
So now Spectrum again have just decided that it's probably related to the Manicougan Dam.
Shouldn't be too long now before we
I'm not sure what they're I don't see the train of thought with this. And obviously, they need to
break my appointment at the final checkpoint, Doctor. But there's been a little change in plan.
They need to find a clue to track down this truck, but even so, it's... And I really don't want to not like this one, because I think this is one written by Shane Rimmer. And we all love Shane Rimmer. But I just wish this could have gone through another rewrite, just to make it a bit more followable. Because we're now at the construction site of Expo 2068, where...
If you value your life, don't move. Keep the main flow of helicopters in operation, but program one to fly as I instruct.
Yeah, Fraser from Creator 101 is guiding what look like automated helijets.
Right on time.
And Captain Black's made him fly one out to the truck. But considering it's the title of the episode, I'm not entirely sure what Expo 2068 even is. It sounds like a... Oh!
Relaying instructions from the Mysterons.
Okay, so the truck driver is standing by the reactor, but now the word gauge is spelt correctly.
2, 3, and remove the thermal safety valve.
So if this is a Mysteron reconstruction of the reactor and not the original, they've corrected the spelling mistake there, which is very good of them. They may be murderous alien killing machines, but they do like a bit of correct spelling.
Captain Blue, what's your position?
We're just about 5 miles short of Manicougan, Colonel. And we still haven't spotted the truck.
Security has just been through to say the reactor has missed the final checkpoint. It means that somewhere after checkpoint 2, the truck turned off. Go back, Captain, and find that truck.
This is what I kind of love about Spectrum in the original series, is Colonel White gets a hunch, or they decide that the only possible way the Mysterons can achieve the threat that they've set out to do is by this one specific thing, and suddenly all the forces of Spectrum are focused on this one specific object. In this case, it's a truck, to the exclusion of anything else, like, I don't know, power stations or nuclear submarines or anything.
Who's there?
Anyway, here comes Commander Riker, who's a lumberjack.
Friend, you're one witness too many.
But he is not okay. Oh no, lumberjack is down. And bleeding. Oh, poor old lumberjack. I do like the design of these helicopters, though. They're quite a change from the sort of helijets of Thunderbirds.
Look.
A lumberjack. Oh, they found him.
Seneca.
He's passed out. Why was he shot?
Oh, it's lumberjack gang warfare. Nasty stuff.
Captain Scarlet. Fresh tracks, all right. And whatever made them was pretty heavy.
I suspect a dinosaur of some description, Captain. Ah. The valve that prevents the reactor from going all splodey.
Some kind of valve.
It seems the transporter was here. It can't be far away.
So now, having switched the reactor to the helijet,
I have located
the transporter is essentially acting as a decoy at this point.
site.
Captain Scarlet, Destiny Angel has spotted the transport carrying the reactor. She'll key you in on its position. Your orders are to stop that truck at all costs.
SIG, Colonel. The injured man is comfortable.
Good. He'll be picked up in
We've put him on a beanbag, left him some sweets, put him in front of a TV.
3-2.
We'll check it out.
Oh, and Scarlet's an under-control puppet in that scene.
Dr. Summers.
Which you'd usually only see in shots of puppets in vehicles, like this shot of Destiny. She's being worked from below.
PV.
There it is.
We've got him.
Thank goodness the only vehicles moving on this entire road for this entire stretch of country in the Atlantic Seaboard is just one SPV and one truck. As far as I know, Scarlet and Blue weren't even told what the truck looked like. And here we have...
Spectrum!
Why is the truck driver, who is now slightly spoilery, he's basically acting as a decoy to lure Spectrum away from the fact that he's already swapped the reactor into the helijet, why is he annoyed that he's managed to decoy the people he was trying to decoy. But it's a very nice chase scene. Oh, we're coming up on another hairpin bend. Always hairpin bends on the edges of cliffs in the Jerry Anderson universe. Will it explode? No, not going to explode.
Let's get that truck open and take a look at the reactor.
I think the truck's probably already open. Oh, the truck driver's head is. Yep, blood on his hand and neck there. But in the back of the truck...
Empty. The reactor's been switched. We're back to square one.
Oh, bother. Maybe if we employed more than 2 agents and 1 vehicle, we might get somewhere. I also wonder what happens in cases like this where the Mysteron agent is killed, but the Mysteron vehicle still survives. Do Spectrum store them somewhere, or would they have them destroyed?
It could start to overheat and go critical.
Captain Scarlet, the Manicougan site is now an emergency area. Security has blocked off the entire county. The only things moving in there are a couple of supply helicopters for a construction company building Expo 2068.
Helicopters?
Yes, Captain.
I've heard
The
of
Seneca
those, Colonel.
Company have them under remote control.
Seneca? Colonel, how big a cargo can they carry?
Pretty big. Wait a minute.
Yes, Colonel. I believe one of those helicopters is carrying the reactor, and without that valve, it must be overheating.
Right, so... Okay, the reactor is now on the way to the Expo 2068 construction site. But yeah, I still don't know what exactly Expo 2068 is. If it's some sort of... I mean, it sounds like some sort of event or convention, but it just looks like... I don't know.
Bring the helicopter into a hovering...
And if... You know, we know that the series takes place in 2068... Presumably they are leaving it very late if this is some sort of public event. The place is just a pile of building materials.
How much further?
About 4 miles.
Yeah, some cars, I mean, a few pressure domes, probably reused from
And lock off the
Avalanche. And poor old Fraser is not having a good day. He just wanted to fly his remote control helicopters, now he's got Captain Black barking orders at him. And of course, without the magic valve to keep it from going explodey, the reactor is overheating. It's nearly up to 190.
This is Dr. Summers calling Captain Scarlet. As soon as you gain access to the reactor, follow my instructions in their exact sequence. I will tell you...
Of course, this puppet playing Dr. Summers is the world president puppet.
Instructions to the letter.
And I do wonder if the world president had appeared in an episode made after this, they would have just gone back to it like nothing happened. Oh, part of the construction site has the...
There it is.
I think it's the container of the minisat, Phobos minisat from Shadow of Fear.
Crash that helicopter.
You told me to lock off the controls.
So Captain Black is telling Fraser to do something that he can't really do. Scarlet's heading over to stop the helicopter. Well, there's only one thing that Captain Black can reasonably do. Murder Fraser in cold blood.
No!
It also looks like... Oh, that is nasty, because the Fraser puppet just slumps forward onto the controls, which starts spitting fire at him. But it looked like Captain Black's gun had must only have been recently repainted, because you could see there was some silver paint on his thumb.
Great.
Anyway, now what's going on is Scarlet has got to get into the crate to get at the reactor to shut it down before it explodes.
Alert Dr. Summers.
SIG.
This involves much drilling and sawing and nailing and sanding. Oh dear, bit of sanding going on. This is bordering on like a home shopping video for a commercial for a Spectrum Power Tools range.
You all set?
Yes. I can give the instructions. I just hope he has time to carry them out.
And of course, Captain Blue is standing there just watching Scarlet do his thing. Oh, the front of the helicopter has like a face. It's like, eyes where the lights, and it's got like a nose. That's something. Oh, but this is a really good bit of puppetry. Yeah, I love that. The way Scarlet kicks the hole that he's cut away. Now he's in the crate.
Doctor, I'm inside.
Because it really looks like there's...
Shutdown procedure. First,
you can really feel the force behind that kick.
189 degrees and rising. That reactor will blow at 200 degrees. The coolant supply switch is on emergency A panel. Turn it to maximum.
Yeah, it's not a very thrilling conclusion to a not very thrilling episode with lots of switch flipping and knob twisting and...
Rising, now 194 degrees.
And we're creeping up into the red.
The 3 primary circuits. Remove the inspection cover. Mark red circuits 1 to 50. Red circuits 1...
And again, we don't have any exciting music to make this... all these numbers and circuits and whatnot a bit interesting, but we do have Scarlet getting crushed by the reactor.
You all right?
Which is one of those things where it's so... It's kind of those things where it's kind of
yes, I think
ghoulish, but it's also a bit frightening. It's also a bit silly.
19 and 30...
Just the way he just sort of falls against the wall, and Francis Matthews just goes,
What's the thermal reading, Captain?
It's a 196.
196? Quickly, those circuits.
Hurry up. Pull the thing out of the thing. That's one thing out. 2 things out. Ooh.
Scarlet, you're running out of time.
Pulling at small wires has never been so... There's not really much of anything, actually. And he's fallen over again because the helicopter's hit a tower. So nearly into the red. We're at 200.
Oh, 37.
One more wire to go, and if the helicopter hits this tower, or... Remember, if the reactor explodes, massive nuclear explosion, and the Mysterons have won.
Captain Scarlet.
And to add to the very confusing story, we now have a very confusing ending, because I don't honestly know what happened. I really don't. And this doesn't help.
Colonel White, prepare the sick bay for Captain Scarlet. I'm bringing him in.
So, it's probably the only episode of the series which doesn't end on a note of, well, Captain Scarlet has succeeded yet again, or the Mysterons have beaten us this time. There's nothing to say who won at the end. I think we're meant to believe that Spectrum won because, well, if there had been a nuclear explosion, then probably there would have been widespread devastation and Captain Blue would be dead. But the fact that the helicopter, that the reactor was just at the point of about to blow up when Scarlet pulled out the last cable, and then it blew up when the helicopter crashed into the tower, it's got to have been as close to being a nuclear explosion as makes no difference, surely. But I don't know. I mean, presumably if it wasn't a nuclear explosion, then Expo 2068 will certainly be delayed. Does that count as the blow to the prestige of the world that the Mysterons threatened? I honestly don't know, because I don't know what... Their threat was so vague. The Expo 2068 angle was so vague. I guess Scarlet did it? I don't know. It's one of the vaguest episode endings in Jerry Anderson history, I would say. Not one of my favourites of Captain Scarlet, sadly. Not by a long chalk. Sorry.